are fooled by the external forces into thinking that it's something outside them is causing their dissatisfaction with life. There's something that needs to be rectified, whatever it may be. I need to get my kid into the right school. I need to fix the door on my house. I need to get a promotion at work, whatever it may be. So we constantly see external forces as the reason for our dissatisfaction in life. And only when you have these forces removed can you realize that it's never been the outside forces that cause your dissatisfaction. The cause of your dissatisfaction is completely internal. It has nothing to do with the external circumstances. Yes, they could trigger feelings of dissatisfaction, but the pervasive sense of unhappiness or dissatisfaction is due to internal conditions and not due to external factors. When I was in India, part of the day was spent studying the philosophy that I'm talking about now. And I was given a task, a volunteer task, to take care of the the dorm, to be the person that people came to if they needed a light bulb changed or new towels or whatever it may be. And I was disturbed by, or I thought I was disturbed by, the fact that students would come during the time that was dedicated to study, the study period, to ask for these things while I was studying. So it really bothered me. I thought, this is the cause of my dissatisfaction. This is the cause of my unhappiness here, is the fact that I came here to study, and during the periods of time that are set aside for study, students are not allowing me to study. I couldn't handle it. So I went to the guru and told him about this. And I asked him, how am I supposed to study when all these students are disturbing me? So his solution was very simple: put a note on your door that you're studying, and hopefully they respect that. Some students might not have cared enough about that, or they might have felt that their need was more pressing or an emergency, and then you shouldn't be disturbed by being having your study interrupted. So I put the sign on my door, and it was just like that. Most of the time when a student saw that, they turned around and came back later after study time was over. But there were the occasional mischievous students who wanted to get on my nerves or whatever, and they'd disturb on almost on purpose, it seemed. And then of course there were the emergencies, the actual emergencies where if something didn't get done in the next few minutes, it would be a big problem. So what this made me realize was that the external factor that I was blaming was not the cause of my dissatisfaction, my unhappiness. And the reason I knew that is because after putting up the sign and making the external change, there was still a sense of disturbance even when no one was actually interrupting the study time. So it became clear to me that this is not the cause of my agitation. This is not the reason that I feel dissatisfied or unhappy. So I bring that to you not because you're experiencing the same situation, of course, but because if you look at any situation and you correct it, and you still feel dissatisfied afterwards, it should give you pause. It should make you stop and think. Is the cause of my dissatisfaction some external factor? Or could it be something internal, something mental, emotional? Could it be some wrong expectation that I have, some unrealistic expectation? Ultimately, all of the disturbance that you experience in this life is internal disturbance. If you are in a place of perfect fulfillment, nothing can disturb you. You will not be disturbed by any external factor. You could lose everything you have in life, but you won't be disturbed. There's a story in the Bible of a man named Job, who was a righteous man. And supposedly, in the story goes that Satan talked to God and said, "Oh, he's only righteous, he's only praising you because everything is going well in his life. He's rich, he's got a nice family, he's got property, he's got everything he needs. So what would happen if you took everything away?" And in the story, God is cruel and ironic like this. He takes away everything that Job has. He kills his family, takes all his money away, his flock of sheep is slaughtered or killed by pestilence, or whatever the exact story was. Basically, he loses everything, and he's in extreme physical pain because he's got leprosy. He's got boils on his skin. And the story goes that Job continued to praise God even after he ended up in this situation. So what we can learn from this, whether we believe the story or whether we believe in God or not, or Satan or whatever, what we can take away from this story is that a person who is internally fulfilled, who has that inner sense of peace and happiness within, is not affected by changes in the external environment, changes to their wealth or to their family. Big profits, big losses don't affect someone who is internally fulfilled. So we should try, if we want to live a peaceful, happy, productive, prosperous life, we should try to find fulfillment internally rather than externally, and thereby reduce our dependence on the world, which is constantly changing. Nothing stays forever. Nothing remains forever. Or as they say, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. However you understand it, however you put it, bottom line is the world is constantly changing. And if you don't have that sense of fulfillment within, you'll constantly be knocked around by the knocks and shocks of life, by the school of hard knocks, until you finally take a step back and think about it and realize that all of the external problems or all the dissatisfaction that you feel is not due to something external. It's due to your internal state that lacks that internal satisfaction, internal happiness,